Hey traders, Nick Bentley here, and what I want to discuss today is a trade that we took on crude oil yesterday that earned us $1,690 in a little less than 24 hours, showing you all of the rules that we used, showing you everything that we did to make this trade play, talk about risk and reward and why we took the trade, how we protected ourselves, how we turned it into a free trade 1 hour later, and some of the rules that we use to ensure that we can do this time and time again and grow our account and be wise and prudent traders. All right, so go ahead and take a look. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, traders, so what you see right now is a 5-minute chart of crude oil. And overnight, you can see the timeline down here. Overnight, price kind of oscillated, and then somewhere around 3 o'clock, prices started to sell off. And then when the crude oil market opened, we spiked back up into kind of this consolidation period. And I didn't do anything here in this area, but at 9:30, prices really started to slide off. And you can see that the downward momentum stayed in place. We failed to create a new high here, and we created a new low. So we had a lower high and a lower low here on the 5-minute when I was looking at this during our class. And what I noticed was that crude oil came through and it paused, and then 3 very large expanded range candles came from this level and blew past this low. So what I noticed at the time was this purple area is a little bit of a larger time frame kind of bottom. And I suspected that we would get a bounce from this area, and sure enough that we did. So as you can see on the screen, I put this up in our inner circle as a potential trade idea if all of our rules were met when we came into this trade. And I'm just going to scroll over here and we can see what happened. So price came into our level, and we were below 60 on the RSI in a small time frame type of downtrend with really good selling pressure. And so I was willing to go ahead and take the short here with 2 contracts here on crude oil. And then what I did was I said, okay, where might our targets be? So one of the things about trading is whatever we risk, it's not just about getting direction right. We need to make sure that what we risk relative to our first reward matches our rules, because we might be able to predict where price goes temporarily, but if price doesn't match our rules, then our risk reward can be thrown out of whack. So let me clarify. I suspected, and my rules had to suggest, that we would go and make new lows from here for this trade to work out. And because of some of the rules that we have here at Trading Price, we did go through that. But to protect myself, I moved our stop to break even once we were halfway to our first target. And our first target was 76.48. So about an hour after we got into the trade, I no longer had my stop up here. I moved our stop to break even. And regardless of what happened with price, we had a free trade. And that is smart and good, prudent trading. We always look for free trades here. So at about 2 o'clock, we came back down into the higher time frame level, and I'll back out and show you guys what I was looking at, but I just want to follow along here with the 5-minute chart. We came back down to these lows, right? And we had, it's not technically divergence because we didn't make an equal or lower low, but you can see that the momentum from our RSI indicator was less than when we came down here the first time. So we suspected that we would get a bounce, okay? Now, at this time, we had our stop at break even. And you can see some of the notes here on the trade that I'm updating our traders on as this is playing out. So that rally failed. We got about 50%, maybe 61, between 50 and 61.8% of that retracement back down. And then overnight came. And overnight, same thing kind of happened that happened up here. We just simply oscillated around. But at about 3 o'clock this morning, the sellers started again. Now, I'm an early riser. Though I wasn't up at 2 or 3 to see this. About 3:15, I checked my phone, and we were very close to our first target. There's nothing really for me to do here. One thing, though, was I noticed on the RSI that we were very, very oversold here at 13. Okay? So a couple minutes later, we hit our first target, and we locked in, I believe it was $980 on one contract. All right? So we shorted here. We were short all afternoon, and our first target was hit. At this time, because we were so low on RSI at 340, down around 12, 13, and because we had moved a substantial ways away from our level, I wanted to lock in more profits on our second target. So at these lows, these previous lows, I noticed that there was a base drop here. All right. So what I did was I moved my stop on my second target to 77. And then after 3:30, or 3:45 in the morning is when our first target got hit, about 3:35. There was nothing really for me to do on this trade. Anything left for me to do on this trade. I moved my stop down here to 77. And then price did end up bouncing around our first target before it proceeded to rally back up and stop us out on our second target. So we ended up making $1,690 on this trade, but there's a couple very, very key moments. All right. Number one is an hour after we got into the trade, we had a free trade. All right. We had a free trade because we were more than halfway to our first target. After that, key point number two, after I move my stop to break even, there's nothing for me to do here while price is trying to figure out which direction it wants to go. Number three, our first target was hit, but look at how low we were, right? Look at how low we were. The combination of how low we were on our side, meaning that we were severely oversold. We hit our first target, and we had moved quite a ways away from our zone. I wanted to protect the profits on our second position. So to do that, we moved our stop just above the most recent selling pressure point. And you can see at 5 a.m. it did come up here and it did respect this one more time. But the selling pressure had vanished because we were failed to make a new low here. All right, again, at 4 we had the low, and at 6:15 we made pretty much an equal low, but look at our momentum, much higher. And that rally pushed us to stop out. All right? So as far as backing out on a 30-minute chart, these are those purple lines. This kind of drop base rally here that I figured price was going to rally from to allow us to get short. It bounced off that level again. This is the overnight, and we broke through that. All right? Just up to these highs. That's why I had my first target right here. All right? See, some of the things that we talk about in trading price is where to place our targets. All right, the T2 was just above this this rally up here, and because when we took 2 targets, I didn't feel comfortable placing it all the way down here or above these areas. If I had multiple contracts, more than 2 though, I would scale this out a bit more, but I needed to be aggressive. All right, so guys, you can see up on the chart, you can see all of the stuff that we put up during this video about how I'm going through these trades, what I'm updating, and things like that. So this is one of the ways that we trade here at Trading Price, even on a 5-minute level. All right, even trading just a 5-minute level. We trade 4 hours and dailies most often, but the same strategy works here using 5-minute, 15, 30, any hourly chart, any type of time frame that you want to trade. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. That's what we do here at Trading Prices. We try to get people into a position to be successful in the market. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like, give it a share, and don't be afraid to watch more videos just like this by subscribing to our channel. All right, guys, take it easy.